You're a fraud.
You're a liberal hack.
Basically, we're rolling. We've already started.
We've already started.
Yep. Hi, Tim.
Hello, Ryan. How are you on this fine day?
Good. Nick's away again. So Nick's away. The boys come out to play. That's what I say.
You can take the wild card out of the boy, but you can't take the boy out of the wild card, baby.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. And because there's no Nick, we've done a fucking very stupid thing. And we've done another Wildcard episode.
We've done a bad thing.
Which is, I guess, what this series is called, of the horrible movies of the world that you and I watched together.
Yep.
The Wildcard series. And today, do you want to tell the people what we watched?
Ooh, what's it called?
Have a guess.
Tomorrow? No, it's not Edge of Tomorrow.
That's a great movie.
Tomorrow. Galaxy Tomorrow.
No. Okay, try another one.
Gold. It's Galaxy Overlords. What it is, it's John Travolta in stilts, and he's got a gold obsession, and he's an alien.
It's called Battlefield Earth.
Yeah, Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield Earth, also known as Saga of the Year 3000. It's Scientology the movie, and it's based on a book by L. Ron Hubbard. It's directed by Roger Christian. I don't know. It's got an all-star cast, really. It's John Travolta as the bad guy. Barry Pepper, who's the sniper in Saving Private Ryan. And
that's that guy that I was like, he's familiar. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's in heaps of stuff. He was in Maze Runner and The Kennedys and, things. And also fucking Forrest Whitaker is in the movie.
That's great.
It's a major role. It's very strange that Forrest Whitaker's in this movie. I don't know why anyone is in this movie, but there you go. Battlefield Earth.
It's a punish. It's a good punish, but it's a punish nonetheless.
When we attacked your planet, all your soldiers and all their advanced technology could only put up a measly 9-minute fight before they were exterminated. Which is why man is an endangered species.
Fuck. Tim, what did you think of Battlefield Earth?
Oh my god.
Wait, first I forgot to do it in the intro. The film follows a rebellion against the alien cyclos who have ruled Earth for 1,000 years. Actually, let's see if we can find... That kind of added to the perplexity of the movie when it started. The opening scroll was in German.
Oh, yeah.
I think we downloaded a German version. But then, none of the other text of the movie was in German, so I was confused. Here's the opening text. It is the year 3000 AD. Earth, once mankind's home, has been ruled for the past 1,000 years by a cruel alien race from the planet Cyclo. Like Psycho, get it? As they have done on countless other planets across the galaxies, the Cyclos mine Earth's metals and teleport them back to their home planet. Gold is the rarest and most valuable metal of all.
It's such a, because when we first were watching it and we found that out, I was like, it's such a B grade, C grade sci-fi, just generic cut, copy and paste. It's so basic.
Yeah. Well, the 1,000 years, the Cyclos, this is ridiculous. It has some really ham-fisted commentary in it. Like, the aliens are obsessed with gold, and the only thing that matters to them is gold, and the humans we don't need gold to be happy. That's kind of throughout it. And the aliens are, a corporate species. They're, part of a big corporation that... So there's some capitalist and gold kind of nonsense sprinkled in. It's really hard to make a movie, I think, because...
I just don't know why or how. I feel sorry for the guy who wrote the book.
L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah.
Do you feel sorry for him?
Because
he made Scientology. He's the Scientology guy.
Well, if you take that out of it, this guy's written a book. And I don't know if it's a good book.
He's written hundreds of books. That's the thing. He wrote hundreds of sci-fi books and then made the religion Scientology.
Yeah, well,
and everybody's like, you know what? This book I actually believe is true. There's hundreds of other ones. No, it's like...
I feel sorry because he must have put some work into his book, and then someone has been commentary. And then someone has made this movie based on his book, and he's like, "This is what you guys came up with from my book." I fucking put my heart and soul in my book.
I think the problem's the book. I think you're underestimating L. Ron Hubbard as a force. He's the guy who invented Scientology.
I know.
And John Travolta being a Scientologist, this was his pet project, which he managed to get made somehow. I looked it up, and it's like some production company that puts money into the pet projects of stars, like Hollywood stars.
That's so gross.
And
Travolta Incorporated.
Yeah. So Travolta was just, I guess, obsessed. He's like, this is L. Ron Hubbard's best book, apart from the Scientology one, which I actually believe. It'd be like if somebody just like, you know what, the third Harry Potter movie, that one is true. That book is 100% fact. The rest are just fantasy novels. No, but this one is actually what I'm basing my religion on. Yeah. Prisoner of Azkaban, obviously, and so that's essentially Scientology, because he wrote hundreds, I think, at least dozens of science fiction novels that are all the kind of same. Like this is indistinguishable to me from the actual religion, where there's like alien demons that get in you or whatever. And this is very much like any other. Anyway, we're not here to get cancelled by Scientologists.
I think we'll be fine.
We'll be cancelled in China, cancelled in Pasadena. Is that where the Scientologists live?
Pasadena?
In California?
They were all over the place.
They are all over the place. There's one in Canberra. Is it still there? It's not there.
Is there really?
Remember on, not Northbourne, but like in the city, in one of the buildings, there was a Church of Scientology there for years and years and years. I always wanted to go in.
I would love to go in.
I know, but
I would love to just
also, this movie, a big part of the movie is leverage, right? Which is like the whole point of Scientology, right? It's like you confess all of the way they clean you or whatever. Cleanse? I don't know. What's better? Is that you like confess every bad thing that you've ever done to get it out or whatever. But what they really do is they record it, and they use that, and that's why you
blackmail.
Yeah, it's blackmail. That's why John Travolta and Tom Cruise can't ever leave.
No, Tom Cruise doesn't want to leave. He's head of Scientology. Travolta can't leave.
Travolta can't leave because they know all about his.
Yeah,
I think we can still get sued if we. Anyway,
Travolta's not listening.
Everybody knows the John Travolta rumors. And he can't leave Scientology, but he seems to be all in on this movie because, oh my god, John Travolta's so fucking weird in this movie. He's got like an English accent for some reason. None of the other aliens are English, but he puts on like a bad guy English voice.
And he's kind of...
You fools! Yeah. I graduated the top of my academy.
Yeah, that scene. What
do you mean that scene? He says that like 10 times in the movie.
But that scene where he takes the humans and he's like flexing, like, oh, I was top of my class.
I was the best
gunmanship. He just starts blasting cows.
Yeah, his example of he's like, I graduated top of my class in sharpshooting as well. If you aren't careful, this is going to happen to you too. I'm doing the movements, you can't see. And there's just like 10 cows, and it's just like, he's like, bang, bang. The cows aren't moving or reacting in any way. And then he like goes behind his back, you know, like
does some trick shots, like, look how cool I am,
bang,
man slaves.
Bang.
And the guys are like, oh no, they're killing the cows.
That's what's going to happen to us. Oh.
It's so weird. The whole movie, Travolta I think he thinks he's smart. Sorry, not Travolta, the actor.
His character is kind of hilarious. He just thinks everybody's stupid, especially his like second in command, who is Forrest Whitaker, and the humans. He's basically going around calling everybody an idiot, and then he gets his comeuppance, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean,
but even towards the very end, he's like, "You stupid idiots! You forgot one thing." And then Whitaker's like, "I'm on their side."
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, what? I've been belittling you and threatening you."
Right to like the very last seconds of the movie, Travolta thinks he's on top,
and he does not deserve. Anyway, okay. So this is worse than The Wicker Man because I don't fucking understand this movie. I can at least follow The Wicker Man, essentially. This is very fucking confusing. It was a punish. It was torturous to watch. It like starts off, and Barry Piper, is that his name? Barry Piper or Barry Pepper?
Are you talking about the main guy or the guy that?
Yeah, the main guy. He's the
Johnny.
Yeah, his name
Johnny.
is... Okay, I forgot.
What's his name? Like Johnny Feingold.
The main character is Johnny Goodboy Tyler.
Which you only kind of discover like halfway through the movie.
At some point in the movie, one of the characters goes, "No, don't do it, Johnny." I'm like, his name's fucking Johnny. Of course it is. It's set in the year 3000. humans have now devolved into like cavemen again. They literally look like cavemen and they act like cavemen. They've lost all knowledge, but still the main good guy with the blonde hair and everything is Johnny. His name is Johnny Goodboy Tyler. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Alright, so the start of the movie is Johnny Goodboy Tyler lives in a primitive hunter-gatherer tribe, cavemen, with his cavemen friends and his cavemen girlfriend. And they're like, we can't leave the caves because out there are gods or something. There's a demon. There's monsters and demons. And there's like a big snake. He tells them about a big snake there and you can't go out there. And he's like, fuck you, I'm going out there. And he leaves and his wife's like, I'm coming with you. And he's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
And she goes, what? Because you think I'm a woman? I can't handle it? He goes, correct. And she's like, oh, you bitch. And then he's like, no, you're actually better than most men. That's why you need to stay at the village. And she's like, all right.
He's like, backtrack. Yeah,
that'll work.
I'll get it.
And then he goes off and he finds the demon and he fights it and it's just a fucking dinosaur from like a mini golf park.
Yeah,
it's a mini golf.
Yeah, mini golf, yeah.
And then there's like, but then there's other statues of, there's like a dinosaur, there's a giant golf ball and stuff. And they're all sitting together like it's clearly a mini golf park for whatever reason. Everybody's afraid of this thing, and he realizes that it's actually not. And then he finds these two people. I mean, this is
this is like he goes like, I'm off to see the world.
Is that what he's doing? I don't even know why he leaves his
he's
village.
Like, there's got to be better stuff than just where we are
living
now.
in this cave.
Living in the cave. So he takes off, but it feels like he's left for like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
and he's already found another tribe, a whole new place.
He's gone from the desert to the forest immediately.
Like, it's a fast horse. Like
it is a fast horse. And he finds these two guys who, one of them must die because he's not shown up. The fat guy doesn't show up for the rest of the movie.
I think maybe he died somewhere in the movie.
He finds these two guys and they're going to kill each other, but then they become friends because he gives them a rabbit that he found, and they're going to show him the gods. And the gods just turn out to be statues. He's like, there were gods, but then they got turned into statues because they angered the other gods. And the first one is so funny because it doesn't show the statue. And they come up to it and he's like, and they're explaining the gods, and then Johnny Goodboy goes to touch it. He goes, are you sure this is a god? And they stop there, don't touch it. This is definitely a god, And then me and Tim are thinking, what's this statue going to look like?
Oh, the suspense, you can feel it.
Tim, I think you were thinking it's going to be George Washington or something.
I thought Ronald McDonald.
That's right. And I thought it was going to be funny, but it surpassed even my wildest expectations. It's like a cartoon lumberjack man or something with a spanner.
Yeah.
I can't describe it. It's the silliest looking fucking statue in the world. It's clearly not a fucking god. It's a silly
generic mascot for like a local mechanic shop.
Yeah. And maybe they're trying to... No, they're not trying to be funny. I don't know. They're trying to be like, oh, humans have fallen so far. It's fucking nonsense.
And now we're worshipping like false idols.
They're walking through a mall and there's mannequins and they're like, look, some more gods.
Yeah, these are people that angered the gods and
then
frozen.
Johnny Goodboy walks into like a plastic because it's see-through and he doesn't know what plastic. He's like, oh, what the fuck? He's knocking on. But then for the rest of the movie, totally knows what glass and plastic is. Just forgot for that scene. And then, then the cyclos come and they capture them and they take them to be enslaved. And so all of a sudden, Johnny and his friends are enslaved in this camp of cyclones. It's like a human detention camp.
But they don't use them
for anything. They just walk them around.
There's scenes of them just walking the slaves, feeding the slaves, pictures of the guys in the pens, in the prisons. But they don't do anything with them.
A major plot. So the cyclones are here for gold. Well, they feed them, so it's a zero-sum game if they're using them for food.
Yeah.
The cyclos are here for gold, but then they make a big fucking point of humans aren't allowed to mine for gold. They're not allowed to operate machinery because they're too stupid. They're called the man animals. So the only reason they're on Earth is to mine gold, and they have all these human slaves who aren't allowed to mine gold. So mainly they just use them to put them in chains and shuffle them around the facility, just walking around in circles. They're not going anywhere. They never go anywhere in the movie. They just shuffle around. It's fucking perplexing. I don't know how the plot gets anywhere in this movie. It's just like a scene, a different scene, more scenes.
John Travolta saying, you stupid idiot, I'm way smarter than you.
Yeah, that's right.
Walking around on their big, massive stilts.
Yes, So John Travolta is like the chief of security of the planet, and he's ready to get a transfer away from Earth because Earth is the shittest planet. Even so, his excellency comes from planet Cyclos. He's like, this is such a bullshit, ugly place. Does it all look like this? And he goes, yeah, it does all look like this. What happened to all the green and the blue? Humans are the worst. This is the biggest crap hole on the planet. Because they're in like a sort of industrial area. And then it shows the planet Cyclos and it's fucking Coruscant. It's like worse than Coruscant. It's just industrial and fucking nightmare.
Yeah,
it's way worse than where he is on Earth. It doesn't... and then anyway, the humans escape somehow. I forget how they escape. But like Johnny and his band of friends escape. And then they just come back. You explain. I don't know what happened.
So
I think you were able to pay attention.
The way I saw it was Johnny escapes.
Yeah.
Travolta's like, whoa, this guy's got some spark into him. And then Travolta discovers there's a gold mine that they haven't touched yet.
Right.
That's got like a ton of gold in it.
Just 'cause I forgot that Travolta has to stay on the planet forever because he did something with the senator's daughter. It's implied and we don't know who the senator is.
Which is briefly. Like,
it's a weird, tiny little subplot that he has to stay here because he boned the senator's daughter
like
at some point in the past.
50 billion years or whatever.
And the guy's like, oh, the senator's got many friends. You'll be here for 50 quarters.
And it's like, ha ha ha.
Yeah, everyone's like, ha ha ha. Anyway, go on. So they found a mine that hadn't been mined yet. And John Travolta's like, I'm going to get all this fucking gold for myself.
Yeah, because
these are smart humans and they might... this one is particularly resourceful.
Yeah.
So we're going to use him to mine the gold. But humans aren't allowed to mine the gold. And if they ever got caught, they'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm on... Okay. All right.
But the reason the aliens can't mine the gold is because it's out of bounds of where they can breathe.
Right, yeah, and okay, yeah, there's a whole thing with breathing.
The whole weird thing, breathing, nothing makes sense. Like, there's parts where they're breathing normally, there's parts where they're breathing with the use of masks. And there's no consistency with
masks,
the breathing.
But then, like, the Cyclos and the humans are both wearing masks in the same place.
But then not wearing masks and some are.
There's one scene where Johnny just, like, takes his off and throws it away as if he's, like, done with breathing.
Yeah. Oh, I can breathe normally. Oh, amazing. It's so weird.
Very fucking confusing.
But then Travolta trains up Johnny, and Johnny learns the language of the aliens.
Oh, well, first they're doing the leverage thing, remember? Because like, we need leverage. What's leverage for humans? Yeah. Because they're like, what's leverage for humans? Because they call them man-animals. They treat them like animals. Like, I know how we'll have leverage over them. We'll find their favorite food. They go, oh yeah, food. That would be the...
What's their favorite treat?
I know what we'll do. We'll let them think they've escaped, and then the first food they go for, we'll know that's their favorite food, and that'll be the treat. So they let them escape. It's fucked up. They just let them escape, and then they're running around, and the first thing they find, because they're in like a fucking city it's like an I Am Legend city that's been abandoned for millennia, there's no fucking animals or food around, so they find rats. And they have to eat the rats, and they hate that, and they have to eat them like uncooked and everything. And then John Travolta and Forrest Whitaker go like, they love the rats. We'll give them rats, and that'll be enough to have leverage over them.
So then there's a scene where Travolta's showing Johnny the alien language.
Yeah.
He's just shoving a rat in his face, like, treat, are you hungry? Mine for gold? And he's like, get this rat out of my face, dude.
Yeah, and because he wants him to mine the gold, he's like, I guess I need to teach him Cyclos. At first I just thought they were speaking English, but I guess it's implied that they're speaking Cyclos, but for the sake of the movie, we can understand.
Yeah.
And then to teach him the language, he hooks him up to this Matrix kind of machine. You know the scene in the Matrix where Keanu gets kung fu, like, just put into his head. He goes, I know kung fu.
I know kung fu, yeah.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing. He's just shooting light beams into his eyes. But instead of just teaching him the Cyclos language, it's like a universe knowledge machine. If I could teaches him all the knowledge of the universe, everything that's like on purpose, Johnny Travolta knows. I called him Johnny Travolta. Johnny Good Boy Travolta.
What'd you call him? Johnny Good Boy Travolta.
No, John Travolta knows what this machine does. It's like, it teaches you everything. So then he just knows everything. He goes from being a caveman, and then he goes back to his cell, and he's like drawing triangles, and he's like, this is a triangle. And he's like, is this the language of the Cyclos? He goes, no, this is the universal language, mathematics. There's a whole thing about...
It's like Pythagoras' theorem is like just briefly
he's like, a triangle's the basis of Euclidean geometry or whatever.
Triangle? What does it equal?
You were supposed to get us something to help us escape. He goes, this will. This is like a big thing about mathematics being this special thing that's going to help them and is really cool. It's kind of like those movies where they go, science will help us, but it's mathematics. So I guess L. Ron Hubbard was just into maths. And that was
so weird.
So weird. Okay. All right. And then it's way too fucking complex to describe what happens, but basically they plan a revolt where they're able to... The humans are mining the gold for John Travolta and they're watching him. But they get their tribe friends to come in to make it look like they're mining the gold while the tribe is mining the gold. They go off to Fort Hood in Texas, an abandoned military base, to get all the gear. And they also go to Fort Knox, where all the gold is.
Because...
So they're planning a revolt.
It's long. It's a long move.
It's 2 hours. It felt so fucking long. I thought I was going to enjoy this more like The Wicker Man. And there are many funny parts in this movie. I will admit there are many funny parts. But anyway, they get to Fort Hood, where all the machine guns are, and grenades and rocket launchers and
nuclear
everything.
Weapons.
Nuclear weapons. I
nukes.
don't know anything about Fort Hood, really. I'm pretty sure it's just a regular military base where they train soldiers.
No, man, what's a movie?
There's fucking nukes there. Apparently Fort Hood has nukes. And a fuckload of Hornet VTOL jet craft, jet planes.
Yeah.
And they go...
Tell them.
They're like, they see the jets. They go, flying machines. They're like, it's like a flying spear.
It's the flying spirits from the gods.
And then they get all... And I just knew there was going to be a lot. There wasn't. But as soon as they were looking at the ships and they go, flying machines, I'm like... I was imagining them wanting to go, you reckon you can fly one of these things? And the other goes... I think I can. But basically that happens, because then they, walk into another room and there's a flight simulator and I go, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
As soon as I see the flight simulator, I'm like, fuck. You get in the flight simulator, there's a little bit of a montage, and then later on the main character, Barry Pepper, comes back in, he's like, how you going or whatever. He's like, it's like getting in a horse. What's it called? It's like breaking in a horse. And it's like bouncing around. It's like breaking in a horse, implying I've learned how to fly in about fucking 2 hours. This caveman previously, who's never heard of mathematics, can't read, nothing.
Can't handle the G-force of the fighter planes.
Definitely can't read, because there's a scene later where one of the smartest who has had the most learning sees a sign that says warning. He goes, war, and then Barry goes, or Johnny goes, warning, and he gets warning, and they learn, and he's like, oh, warning, I've been able to read warning now. And then these fucking cavemen who have never read anything before are flying fucking jet planes around.
They've got the fur hats and the spears and the big caveman
beards, and they've got loincloths and shit. They're definitely not wearing a helmet or oxygen masks or anything in the plane. They're just flying around. And there's one where the character rams it and he ejects at the last second. I'm like, how do you fucking know that says eject? How do you know that says eject? You can't read. How do you do anything in this plane? But they're flying very competently. There's one scene where they've maneuvered, because they're VTOL, the vertical takeoff and landing ones.
Oh, they're just floating in midair.
There's one scene where they're hiding in the wreckage of a building. They've managed to maneuver. I don't know if any pilot can do that in real life. They've maneuvered their planes in there. They're hiding. They're waiting and hiding until the enemy planes go by, and then they shoot out.
And they get them.
Yeah, they've been in... Oh. Meanwhile, there's a revolt going on. I don't know what the fucking point of the movie is. Honestly, I don't know what the point... There's a point where they could all just go home, and they go no, if we go home, the cyclones are always going to be there. We're going to be looking over our shoulder, even though they never have to deal with the cyclones, really.
Yeah, they had Travolta at gunpoint with all the mates were around. This is halfway through the movie, maybe. They've got them at gunpoint, and then they go, no, we need to stay with them and learn and let them teach us. So they all run away, and then Johnny gives the gun back to Travolta. And then Travolta picks it up and says, you stupid idiot, I was in control the whole time. It's like, Travolta, he could have killed you, dude.
This movie killed me. I don't even know if I like movies. Really.
This will be the last movie we ever watch.
Please.
That's it.
Look, what else can we say about this movie? Yeah, there's a love interest. Remember the love interest? Shows up at the very start, the very end. He always goes on about it. Couldn't tell you a fucking name.
All I know is Johnny.
Carlo.
And that's Johnny and...
Carlo. His friend.
Carlo? Or the guy, the Barry Pepper dude?
Barry Pepper's friend. Barry Pepper is Johnny.
Oh, is he? I thought Barry Pepper was Johnny's friend.
No, Barry Pepper is No, that's I don't know who that is. That's Barry Pepper's the sniper from Saving Private Ryan / the main character in this movie.
Oh right. Oh, he's done okay then.
He has Saving Private Ryan was before this, but I did look it up, and he has gone on to success after this. After being in what is considered the worst movie of all time.
Good for Johnny.
It hasn't, and I mean Forrest Whitaker, he's still going. John Travolta, he's doing very well for himself financially anyway, and probably has Scientology slaves. And it's all fine.
I wonder what Travolta thinks of this movie. If he's like,
Well, this
yeah,
was
I
his
got it.
passion project,
Yeah,
and the reason that nobody made the movie was because they had concerns about the script, and obviously the fact that it's a Scientology movie, and that's a bit dicey. So I don't know. He must be fucking stupid. John Travolta must be really stupid because A, he believes in Scientology. B, he thinks L. Ron Hubbard is this fantastic author, and this movie just has to be made. And didn't really have any misgivings about the script. He's really, he just plays it straight, and he is bad in this movie. Bad.
There are some brief moments where I'm like, Travolta, like, it might be kind of good when he's like being like really cold and heartless.
Has a couple of very small moments,
but then he just goes back to being stupid and camp and way over
really
the top.
camp, hammy.
And,
It's
yeah.
the accent. I don't know why he's doing the accent when there's no need for him to be English, and it's not a good English accent. It's like just a regular. You know when regular people do English accents?
Yeah.
It's like that.
Like, ooh, hey, ooh.
Oh yes,
yes.
It's not even that. That's too good. my accent's too good.
Put me in the movie.
I'm trying. What's a line that he said? You rat brain. I don't know. It's a bad accent, and there's no need for it because the aliens are not English, so it's fine. Forrest Whitaker just has an American accent. Forrest Whitaker's pretty fine in the movie. He's
I
not.
feel sorry for Forrest Whitaker's character because Johnny Travolta
He's just shitting on him the whole
just
movie.
shits on him the whole time. And then when
I'm
Whitaker
just using you for my patsy.
when Whitaker does try and stab him in the back, and John
Yeah, he
like,
fucks it
I
up.
got ya. He's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That is actually like the funniest line in the movie. I really enjoyed that. I don't know if it's comedy, but so after, John Travolta's been shitting on Forrest Whitaker the whole movie, using him as his patsy, like forcing him to do shit because he's got leverage over him. And then eventually, Forrest Whitaker turns the tables. He's recorded John Travolta revealing the whole plan that would get John Travolta arrested and vaporized and everything. And Forrest Whitaker's like lounging back in the chair. He's like, ha, you can't do shit now.
He's giving
He's like, I thought 80-20 was a good split. I think I'll take the 80%. And then, John Travolta pulls out his gun. He goes, you can't shoot me. I've learned from you, teacher. I've given a copy of the recording to somebody else in case anything happens to me. And John Travolta's like, who could it be? Who could it be? The communications officer? And he's like, no, wrong. And blah, blah. Keeps going through people. He goes, the bartender! And he pulls the bartender's head out of... But because Forrest Whitaker's laughing, he's like, no, wrong. No, he goes, bartender! And then Forrest Whitaker came in and he goes, I'm sorry, I've made a mistake.
And then Travolta shoots his hand off, and Forrest Whitaker's like, dude, shut my hand off.
Yeah, there's
But
no reaction.
There's no pain. There's no blood either.
No, I know. The same thing happened with the cow. It just disappears, the hand, essentially.
And then
immediately cauterized.
Travolta's arm gets blown off
But just
towards
so
the movie.
that line.
But he doesn't even notice.
I'm sorry, I've made a mistake.
I've made a mistake. And then it just goes back to
But
being
yeah,
normal.
even okay. I can excuse the laser. Maybe the laser does something where it pops the hand off and cauterizes it or something. But then later on, Travolta gets his arm exploded by like regular munitions, like gunpowder, I presume, or something that explodes his arm, and
Yeah.
he just goes, He looks at it. He just goes, like it doesn't affect it.
That's annoying.
I don't know why. I don't know why that is like. They could have just made him go but like, why does the character not react? There's a lot about this movie that is just perplexing, which is, I guess, why it has 3% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh, really?
And 9% on Metacritic, I think. Like, who the fuck are you 9%? Scientologists. That's Scientologists. Journalists, yeah.
If you're a Scientologist listening to this podcast, let us know what you think of this movie. And also, what is Scientology?
This is like the Bible, the adaptation. Bible, the movie.
God, I'd love to know what they're... Are they like, people just don't get it? This is a masterpiece. This is the best movie.
I guess so.
People just don't get it.
It's just like, I don't know why this like fucking C-grade pulp fiction sci-fi author from the 50s is like fucking Moses all of a sudden. He's got the commandments and shit. And why people pay any... Like, it's honestly, like, fucking Tom Cruise. He's not, like, brain damaged. I mean, he's like I don't know where people... it's so confusing. Scientology is the most confusing religion. And I know all religions are kind of silly. Sorry, listeners. But most religions are kind of weird anyway. But Scientology specifically is fucking nuts.
Yeah, but Tom Cruise gets a part. He's got charisma. It's Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is awesome.
You know,
I
he's
just
great.
watched Collateral. He plays the bad guy in that, which...
Yeah.
In terms of Scientologists who normally play the good guy but play the bad guy in this movie, Collateral, far superior to Battlefield Earth, I will tell you.
Well, you know.
Right, that's it. Any final thoughts, parting thoughts? We actually smashed through that pod. We're at a half an hour already.
If you're gonna watch this movie, get ready.
Don't just turn around, turn it off.
You can watch it, but like strap yourself in because it's a punish sometimes.
Yeah, it's not fun like The Wicker Man was.
It felt like The Wicker Man was way shorter.
It did. Maybe it was.
Maybe it was. This was like 2 hours.
This is 2 hours on the dot.
Yeah.
I think Wicker Man must have been 2 hours. I can have a look.
It definitely feels
But
shorter.
this felt long. I wish we have stuff to do later today, so we couldn't get drunk. That might have helped. I can't find it anyway. Might have helped if you were drinking. That probably would have made it more fun. We were stone cold sober.
Yeah. I would have had to have a lot of drinks for this to be enjoyable the whole way through.
All right. Well, give me your rating.
3.
3. Yeah. See.
3.
Yeah. And we're not rating this like we would a normal movie. If we were rating it like a normal movie, it's like a 0. It's like a 1. But I'm rating it in terms of like enjoyment of the silliness, like Wicker Man, which was an 8 in terms of its enjoyment.
Yep.
So this, in terms of its enjoyment, still is I'll give it 4. I'll go a bit higher.
Maybe you're right. Maybe get drunk and watch this movie.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you need. You need a bit of extra spice from outside to give it a kick.
Yeah. And this isn't a 4 out of 10 like like Godzilla vs. Kong, which I gave 2 out of 10, is a better movie than this, but I'm not comparing those. It's kind of a weird system I've got going. Essentially, you've got normal movies, and then you've got movies that are just so shit that you're watching it for its
like
shittery.
The Wicker Man.
Wildcard movies.
Yeah.
Troll 2, that might come up. Wildcard movies. In that vein, it's a...
You can watch The Wicker Man sober
and still love it.
And it's still great.
It's a great movie.
We watched this, and
it was a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
But there were some good laugh out loud moments. It was interspersed with just a long fucking bits of just shit movie.
And also the camera angle.
Oh, fucking camera angles.
Yeah,
We forgot
I
about
forgot about that.
Yeah, literally every the 2 bits, the camera angles are always at like a 45-degree angle. Left, right. They just switch in the scene, 45-degree angle. Also, they use Star Wars wipes, so the director actually worked on Star Wars as like a costume designer or a set designer, something like that. And it copies the Star Wars wipes. I think it has a couple of different ones. And then the last hour 40 of the movie is just curtain wipe.
Yeah.
Just from the middle of the screen, wipe out. Yeah. Every scene is the same fucking curtain wipe. $44 million it cost this movie. CGI wasn't bad for some bits for 2000.
Yeah, there was one scene.
For 2000.
Yeah, there was one part where we were like, oh, geez.
Actually, I guess Attack of the Clones was like,
yeah, I mean, come on.
A couple years later.
Yeah.
And Phantom Menace was
Apples and
before.
oranges.
All right, that's it. We'll sign off because we're already running over time. Thanks for listening.
I feel exhausted.
I'm
really
tired.
tired.
I need a nap. Not a recommendation to watch this one. I will say watch Wicker Man. Don't watch this one unless you do want a bit of a punish. Good to watch with other people, I suppose. Just good to... I've never watched it before. I've always known about it. So Battlefield Earth, at least I can tick it off.
Just watch it. Get it off your list. Another thing you've seen.
Nah, and we'll be back next week for I think a regular Hack and the Fraud pod. A normal movie. But enjoy. Thank you for listening to it. Oh yeah, like, share, and subscribe.
Punch that bell.
Hit that, smash that, pound that like button. There's no likes. Just Apple Podcasts. Chuck us a rating. Get us on socials.
Share and like it. Tell your friends.
Tell
your family.
We're actually doing a prize. The 5,000 like It's getting a one-on-one, 1 hour with Tim. You can do whatever you want.
This is the first I'm hearing of it.
Well, it's still got many likes to go until we get to there. But
I have to agree with it because Ryan has leverage over me.
That's right. All right. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. That's the sign of